Merry meet everyone. So I got my little helper here and we're going to talk about runes and tarot and possibly oracle decks. Give a little bit of history about these things. So, runes are letters in the runic alphabet that were spoken by the Germanic tribes in Scandinavia, which started in the CE time period. Vikings made the runes out of wood or metal or anything they could find. That was just the main two things that they would make the runes out of. Runes are found in areas with a history of Germanic speaking people, from Iceland to Scandinavia, through England, through Central Europe to Constantinople, or anywhere the Vikings touched. Okay, don't know why I couldn't get that out. Runes were considered to be a way for the gods to communicate to the druids, good lord, I can't talk, sorry, such as war, harvest, and more. They would give like warnings, or it would be, just a general way of communication to the gods. It was also a way just to ask like general questions, like go see the seer of the village or however you want to say it. And, you know, that's what they would do. In the 1st and 2nd century, the runic alphabet was changed to Latin, and Christians began taking pagan traditions and changing them for their own. They did not just steal the runes, okay? They did not just change the runes to Latin, okay? I'm going to give you a little bit of information about that. Where are you going? So, Christians actually stole holidays too, like Christmas and Easter are Ostara or Yule. So Yule, I don't know if I've talked about Yule yet, but Yule, people would check on their neighbors and make sure they were making it through the harvest or through winter time, excuse me. A lot of people struggled back then. They didn't have enough to make it through the winter. So, the neighbors would check on each other and be like, hey, I need flour or I need sugar or something like that. And then the neighbor would, make a trade off. Okay, I have sugar or flour, we'll trade. It was a time of giving, it was a time of making sure each other was okay, right? A lot of people starved, a lot of people had to move in with another neighbor or something like that just to be able to make it. They didn't have enough wood or whatever. It was rough. Christians stole that because, gift giving, that's when Jesus was born, new life. So, yeah. Easter or Ostara. Easter, they have egg hunts. They say that Jesus rose from the dead. Ostara, women would bury eggs for fertility, as an offering to God or goddess, whoever they served. So yeah, that's not the only thing that Christians have stolen, and I'm not like bashing Christians. Please don't take it as that. I'm just giving facts. As for tarot, Europe played card games with tarot decks, which only had 4 suits, which is the major arcana. It was like staves or wands, discs, pinnacles, or coins. Sorry, my notes just disappeared. Where was I at? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, pinnacles or coins, cups and swords, which began in the 14th century. After a decade or two of using these, in the mid 1400s, Italian artists began painting additional cards to add into the existing suits, which would be the minor arcana. A number of sets, some of which still exist today, were created for the Visconti family of Milan. I hope I pronounced that right. Because not everyone could afford to hire a painter to create a set of cards for them, for a few centuries, customized cards were something only a privileged few could own because they were so expensive. It wasn't until the printing press came along that playing card decks could be mass produced for the average game player. Goldsmith and inventor Johannes Gutenberg of Mons, Germany, I think I said all that right, he began experimenting with printing in Strasbourg, France in 1440. He returned to Mons several years later and by 1450 had a printing machine perfected and ready to use commercially called the Gutenberg press. Both France and Italy, the original purpose of tarot was as a parlor game, kind of like Uno or Go Fish or poker or Texas Hold'em, whatever you want to call it. Not as a divinatory tool. There we go, got it out. It appears that divination with playing cards started to become popular in the late 16th and early 17th century, although at that time it was far more simple than the way we use tarot today. By the 18th century, however, people were beginning to assign specific meanings to each card and even offer suggestions as to how they could be laid out for divinatory purposes. There were also people trying to claim the tarot cards as their own and trying to give the cards totally different meanings. Christians. So, with that being said, here are some runes for you to look at. These are obsidian runes that I have. And then these are the wooden runes. You've probably seen these in some of my videos, but just wanted to show you guys a little bit. Now, as for tarot, I will say that some tarot decks are different. Like the cat tarot that I have, it's more sweet and playful and childlike. Yeah, there's some in there that's kind of like upfront, if you want to say that. But definitely a little more playful, more childlike for sure. As for the Crow tarot deck that I have, it is upfront and honest and does not give a shit, okay? It will tell you, hey, we're going to fucking do this today. You're going to get over yourself. You're going to look at yourself. We're going to heal. We're doing this. So, that is my favorite all-time deck that I have. So, I like that upfront and raw energy from that tarot deck. So, that would be my first choice for sure, every time. As for oracle decks, I don't really have any information about that, although I do know that they were originated well after the tarot decks. So the oracle decks, they're a little more, gentle about things. They're a little more in-depth, kind of. They're more like introspection type stuff. But they're a little more gentle. They're more like, okay, we're gonna do this. You take your time and you look at things, So that can be good. That can be kind of, just depends on your mood, I guess. I do have an oracle rune deck. I think I've made some videos with that in the past. It's a little more in depth. It gives a little more details, a little more insight, so to speak. That is all the information that I have right now. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If there's something else that you would rather see, let me know that too. As for the tea of the week, I almost forgot, but I had it sit out in front of me. I said I'm not gonna forget today. But we have lychee and mint tea. So, boil 4 cups of water and pour in a jug with 4 of your favorite black tea bags and steep for 20 minutes. Add a tin of lychees with its juice to the tea mix. Add a few sprigs of mint and chill in the fridge for an hour. Pour over ice-filled glasses, and this is a relaxing tea. So this seems like it would be like a summer evening tea, like you're watching the sunset, you're just kind of like vibing, good vibes, whatever, just trying to chill. That's That's the kind of tea I want and need in my life. um, but that is all the information that I have on this. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. And if you'd like to see Lizzo again, then just drop a little lizard emoji in the comments. I'll be happy to bring her back as long as she's not shedding. Um, yeah, you like that. All right. I hope everybody has a good week, and I will see you next time. Blessed be.